I heard somebody, I don't remember who, but they said that about Israel and Palestine. They're like, this is just war. That's all. This is what it's been throughout history. Yeah. This is war. This is politics. This is espionage. We're going to be a part of some horrendous things in the effort to preserve our power. Yeah. Now, I guess my question would be, what could we get that's so valuable that the trade-off makes it worth it?
With Epstein?
With Epstein and children getting molested and all these horrible things.
You're not going to like this answer either, but...
no, I don't have to like it. I just want to know what it could be.
X isn't going to like it either.
Okay.
So you protect a CI, you protect a clandestine source of information at all costs because every future CI is watching what happens to today's CI. So as somebody as heinous as Epstein, right, accused of everything he's been accused of, if he's just one of, say, 30 massive FBI confidential informants who are out there, if we turn him over to the public, if we break our agreement with him, then everybody else is like, well, fuck, I'm not going to work with FBI. I'm not going to rat anybody out. I'm not going to narc ever because even FBI they won't cover my back, right? They won't put me in witness protection. They won't keep my secret.
I'm not even saying if he's a confidential informant, no one else would know that he was working with you.
That's a great point.
Except that when the files are released, the files will tell you.
When he gets jammed up. Got it. Okay.
I guess.
And then think about that. If they try to keep those files hidden, this is what I think is happening to JFK. I think JFK had some sort of connection in there that shows that he was in some way working with or colluding with some element of either our government or foreign government. And we just can't carve that part out. Because every time you release some files, those files say nothing, and then you hold other files back, and they're like, "What's in those files?" So you can never get to the core of exoneration.
So you don't think it was just Lee Harvey acting alone with JFK? You think they're?
I think we don't. Well, oh yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know that the assassination is what's being hidden in the JFK files. Okay. It could have been something tangential to the assassination, right? And that's the same thing with Jeffrey Epstein. What we're all looking for is some kind of smoking gun that says he was working for Mossad or he was working for CIA. It all could be tangential. It all could be tangential, and the reason that it's classified is a tangential classification, not to protect him in any way.
But what can be worse than protecting child? It's like even if he was helping us out in so many ways, now we know that there are so many victims. Like, shouldn't we go after the people who were also victimizing?
And sorry, to add to that point, is there not, I'm not even saying this is a joke, is there not like a carve out in a CI's mind that's like, oh yeah, that guy fucked kids, so that's why he's out?
No, because it's so the answer, what's worth it is the future confidential informants that we will get if we never out a confidential informant. That's the benefit.
Okay.
Not just this year, but next year and 2 years from now and 10 years from now, right? Because if we ever out a confidential informant, then every confidential is going to think twice about ever working.
It is interesting because with this specific crime, it is so heinous that I don't think people can see past it. But like, I think like, Whitey Bulger, like in Boston becomes a CO. Or a CI, and he's working as an informant with the FBI, and they let him do crime.
Murder people, sell drugs. These are things we can kind of wrap our mind around.
And we kind of let it go, and they're like, oh yeah, well, they were using him to get to all these guys, and they were able to get 100 of them, and they killed, 10 other people. Who cares?
Yeah.
And we kind of were like, all right, whatever. But with this crime, it's so heinous that we can't see through it. But I think in the mind of, intelligence people, CIA, FBI, they're just like, yeah, people are people, numbers are data, who gives a shit?
You guys just did the John Gotti thing.
What?
You guys all just did like the John Gotti thing where they're interviewing and John Gotti got caught and they're like, what do you think about John Gotti getting caught? And they're like, he did nothing wrong. And then they're like, what about the murders? And the people are just like, what murders? Like they're just like covering it.
Yeah, and there's a degree, I think in our mind, maybe it's society, maybe it's human nature, especially of children,
is the worst.
There's no ability to reconcile that for most of us.
Yeah, there's a reason prisoners fuck them up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. And I think part of a job that I don't envy in someone high up in the agency or FBI or whatever these places are, is like, you can't afford to do that because I got to worry about 330 million people. And I'm not defending what they did. I do understand that is a part of their job, and that is a tough thing to do.
So there definitely are files. There's definitely stuff that was collected at his place that he was filming. They probably have proof that other people have fucked some kids. Let's say you don't want to expose that he was intelligent, but couldn't they at least use that information to start investigating some of the people that we know
Yeah.
fuck some kids, and then just try to, hey, get them on a private investigation?
You
And-
weren't CIs.
And
I mean-
and yes, they can, and yes, they probably are. But when you start an investigation, you don't go public and say, "We've started this investigation. We're actually looking into so and so right now because of what we
It's
found." in
taken
these
them a
files."
long time.
Investigations take a painfully long time to actually research, to build a case that you have confidence when it goes to trial. You can build a jury that's not going to have a predisposed bias for the case.
Give us a rough idea how long it would take to see justice for any of these people.
I mean,
Or for any of these
I think we'd be
victims.
lucky if we saw it in 4 or 5 years. I think realistically, cases probably would take between 7 and 14 years, and then even though
No,
they
no,
might-
not the age of the victims. How long does it take to get this trial? Like these, it takes upwards of 14 years to get a prosecution.
it can.
Wow.
Especially if you're looking for a federal prosecution, it's a long time.
There's also the assumption that all the blackmail is sexual blackmail. True. Which I mean, Sauter kind of pointed that out to us, and I think it's like a good distinction. Like some of it obviously is, but some of it is just a dinner that he has with, a former head of state or with a very wealthy investor, and just listening to the conversation. And so it's like, oh, there's blackmail of Bill Gates, there's blackmail of this person. It may be sexual, but it also could just be a conversation.
No, I know that. But the ones that were diddling some kids,
Oh, yeah, of
get them the
course.
fuck out of here.
Right.
Why would Trump run on releasing these files if, when he was in office and Epstein got locked up and they got all this information and he know this can't get out to the public, why would he run on releasing it?
Because he's dishonest.
Point blank. All right.
I mean, Trump is dishonest. I think we all understand
Okay.
Trump is a dishonest character.
I mean, he told us that on the pod. He said, I am a mostly truthful person. Basically saying, I lie sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When it's strategically relevant, when it's beneficial to marketing, when it advances the cause, when it gets him what he needs in the long run, it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. Like,
So was it just a huge miscalculation? He thought people would not care after he gets elected? Like if he know he couldn't.
Well,
release
he did release, I think he thought, oh yeah, we're going to give him some red meat. We're going to put together all these influencers. We're going to give
that
them
thing.
these files and we're going to leak all the stuff and they're going to eat it up and we'll be good. I'll have done my job. And then no one ate it. And then he was like, oh shit. All
Is
right,
that what you think, Andrew?
you got to keep in mind that like Donald Trump was there from the beginning of all this with his first presidency. So none of this is new to him. It's almost like a boomerang that's coming back
Oh,
to
yeah,
him.
he was back there with Epstein too. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
He was there for a long time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is just when you put yourself into the shoes of the president and you calculate risk, this is his second term.
yeah.
Like he shouldn't have a third term according to what we understand of precedent and our own internal laws, right? So what does he have to lose? What does he have to lose pissing off everybody in his base? What's he have to lose? Is that base gonna vote liberal next cycle? No.
I do think a lot
Some
more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
there
people
was.
in the middle are upset.
But the middle's not the base,
Okay.
right? The base is still intact for the next conservative president, the next conservative candidate. So if anybody, the people you can mess with the most is the base.
It's also a good point because Trump doesn't care about the part, right? Like he doesn't care about like republicanism. I think
Right.
he cares about like him getting elected.
Yeah.
And so if
Winning.
he pisses off everyone, like he doesn't care. He's like, I'm out. If he's out.
If he's out.
Yeah.